Good evening. The WMGA annual meeting will start momentarily. During this Zoom webinar, your audio and video have been turned off. You can send a chat if you have any issues. Also, during the business portion of the meeting, there will be 3 motions to be voted on. These will be done by polls that will pop up on your screen. Please select and click on your response.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members and guests, and welcome to the WMGA's first virtual annual meeting. We would rather be meeting in person, but for everyone's well-being, we conducted this meeting via webinar. I am Lori Ann Cerullo, President of the WMGA, and I would like to call to order the 121st annual meeting of the Women's Metropolitan Golf Association and introduce the 2020 Board of Directors. The officers are Donna DeMarco, VP of Marketing and Communications, Mary Jo Gray, VP of Competitions, Sky Gregory, our Treasurer, and Michelle Lemoy Gray, our Secretary. The Board of Directors for Long Island are Shannon Boyle, our Initiatives Chair, Barbara Briamonte, our Membership, and Ina Kim Shad, our Junior Girls, Diane Mock, Foundation Liaison, and Sheila O'Malley is our District Captain in Long Island. The Board of Directors for New Jersey are Kathy Flicker, District Captain, Kate Platt for Sites Chair, and we have an open team competitions due to the resignation from Tara Fleming in May of this year. The Board of Directors from Westchester and Connecticut are Wendy Dominic, our Interdistrict Team Match Chair, Laura Kowash, the District Captain from Westchester, and Heidi Komarari, our Course Rating Chair in Westchester. Thank you, ladies, for all that you have done during this very difficult and complex year. We had lots of discussions and made some very tough and hard decisions. Behind this 17-member board is a staff that deserves so much credit. It is hard to articulate the numerous tasks that are needed to oversee and execute the many things that the WMGA does. We owe tremendous thanks to our WMGA staff that ensures that tournaments, communication, special events, team matches, and membership renewals all run smoothly. I'd like to introduce them now. There's Sarah Relier. Oh, sorry, forgot, she got married. Sarah Niemeyer, our Executive Director. Martin Connor, our Tournament Manager, joined us in June, and we hired him from Boston College. Our Office Manager, Susan Longlad, makes sure everything runs smoothly. And Robbie Irwin is our USGA Boat Right intern. You probably recognize him as our starter and the photographer for all the pictures you saw earlier. Unfortunately, Robbie's internship ends in December and we will miss him, but we wish him well in his future endeavors. I want to thank the entire staff for their hard work. When our office had to close, the staff seamlessly migrated to working remotely, thanks in part to the infrastructure investment that we made last year. But more importantly, due to our incredible staff. They truly did not miss a beat. At this point, is there any objection to dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting? Please indicate your objections via your chat function. Sarah, do we have any objections noted in the chat function?
No, there are no objections noted in the chat.
May I have a motion to accept the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. I second the motion.
Thank you. If you are in favor, please select yes in the Zoom poll panel that is popped up on your screen. All those that are opposed, please select no, and those that wish to abstain, select abstain, and then hit submit. We are monitoring the results. Okay, great. The numbers indicate to me that the minutes have been approved. The minutes for the 2019-2020 fiscal year are on file in the WMGA office. I would now like to recognize those board members who have given 2 years of service to the WMGA board and virtually present them with a logoed medallion to thank them for their service. The actual medallion will be mailed to them. The award winners are Shannon Boyle, Laura Coash, Mary Jo Gray, Ina Kim Shad, Michelle Lemoy Gray. Thank you, ladies, for all your service for the last 2 years. Also, a big thank you for our outgoing board member, Heidi Komorari. Your service and support over the years is deeply appreciated. Thank you for your time and your efforts that you have given this organization. A tribute to Heidi is a bit later in the program. Now I would like to recognize the many dignitaries that have present today. Although they're virtual and unseen, they are there. First, the WMGA past presidents who represent nearly 45 years of presidential legacy in this organization. They are Ann Beard, Cheryl Brayman, Barbara Candide, Kathy Cosgrove, Kathy Dennis, Valerie DePiro, Amy Hyman, Bridget Chainley Lamb, Valerie Lazar, Dot Pollock, Nancy Patton, Beth Post, and Jerry Scarpa. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today and all that you have done and continue to do for the WMGA. And my personal thanks for all your advice and counsel, especially during this very challenging year. And lastly, to our guests who represent our partner golf associations and organizations. The MGA, Todd Pike, the president, Andy Stock, who is vice president and incoming president, and Brian Mahoney, their executive director. From the New Jersey State Golf Association, Eric Hauschek, president, and Kevin Purcell, the executive director. And from the Met PGA, Chris Keeney, president, and Jeff Boris as the executive director. They're not with us tonight because they have their meeting going on. And lastly, the Met Golf Writers Association, Brian Crowell, the president, and David Donaldson, the board member. We want to thank you all for your support of the WMGA. The WMGA mission statement still stands the test of time, but this year it was tested like never before. The pandemic turned our world not only upside down, but inside out. It has impacted everyone and everything, the health of our loved ones, the local businesses we rely on, our global economy, and the way we live our daily lives. I, along with the WMGA board, hope that you and your family are all healthy and safe. And just as we all face cancellation and postponements and we had to adapt, so too did the WMGA. But this is not the first time the WMGA has had to deal with adversity. Remember, the WMGA is a 121-year-old organization. It has navigated through 2 world wars, a global depression, 2 stock market crashes, and 6 epidemics: typhoid, Spanish flu, diphtheria, polio, measles, whooping cough, and now corona. This is the second oldest women's golf club in the United States, and our longevity is our stability. The WMGA was the dream of 5 women who in 1899 had the foresight to foster competition and camaraderie against women who loved to golf. They challenged the system at the time when women didn't even have the right to vote. And now we currently have a woman as a vice president-elect. Our tenacity, our passion, and our perseverance is part of our DNA as women and as WMGA members. I used this slide last year to outline our focus for the 2020 as the year of the member. And while it's still our underlining focus, the world events obviously took precedence. We were able to hold our January Top Golf event, and 31 women came out to play and swing a golf club. It was a wet and chilly day, but it was nice to see everybody after the holidays. Also, based on members' feedback, we did get to create our tournament roadmap, a one-page overview of the various formats and requirements of our tournaments. A frequently asked questions section and search option was added to our website. And by converting the tournament schedule book, TSB, into an in-house Microsoft document, we saved the organization thousands of dollars in post-production costs. But as the virus took hold in mid-March and all the businesses were instructed to close, the WMGA had to unfortunately make the decision to cancel the team matches. These have been the heart and soul of the WMGA. The interdistrict team led by Wendy Dominic spent hours organizing the 2.5-week 5-match competition. The district captains, veteran Kathy Flicker, Laura Koash, and rookie Sheila O'Malley had coordinated with 124 Met reps covering 162 teams over the winter months to prepare the schedule. The board was certainly heartbroken to make the decision to cancel the team matches, but there was no other choice. And while every WMGA member knows and loves them, the WMGA is much more than team matches. Our 2020 tournament schedule was packed with 29 tournaments, including 21 tournaments run solely by us, and an additional 4 invitational and 4 other tournaments co-sponsored with either the MGA or the Met PGA. The first 2 invitationals, the Golf Illustrated and Myra D. Patterson, were fortunately rescheduled for later in the season. But the Grissom and Enos Cup, played against our sister golf organizations in Philly and Massachusetts, were canceled. They involved travel and overnight stays, which were not feasible at that time of the pandemic. We were especially disappointed that the Grissom was canceled, as we were hosting it at Westchester Country Club. At this point, we were holding our breath to see how the progress of the pandemic would affect the remainder of our schedule, which kicked it off in June. Now, golf was not deemed as an essential business, but we soon realized that golfing became an essential outlet, one of the few sports that met mandates of being outdoors, enforcing social distance, and if you ever see my drives, that's definitely the case, and minimizing contact with no shared equipment. In fact, the MGA noted that 30% increase in handicap score posting throughout the season, and golf manufacturers ran out of junior golf equipment by the start of the summer. Those who rarely played golf played, and those who never did took up the game. We hope that we have a new crop of women golfers, especially junior girls, going into the 2021 season. As we understood the virus better, government and health organizations developed specific mandates and regulations and how it pertains specifically to playing golf. We reviewed our tournament structure and created new procedures to determine where we could minimize contact and maintain proper social distancing by creating our pre-packaged scorecard baggies, our grab-and-go lunches, and we eliminated all handouts and did everything electronic. And we even provided individual hand sanitizers. We began to be hopeful that our tournament season was not going to be a total loss. And actually, it wasn't. We held 75% of our scheduled tournaments. 21 of the 29 tournaments were held, and of the 8 that were canceled, only 4 of them were our own. The Match Play, Met Am, Best Ball AB, and Better Ball AB. This is a significant achievement, and special thanks to the board members and Met reps that helped secure the new venues, as some clubs were unable to honor their commitment this year. We also had a 50% jump from 2019 in oversubscribed tournaments. And while 25% fewer tournaments were held, our attendance was only down 60% on a year-to-year tournament comparison. Most notably, the Maureen Orcutt Junior Girl event had 34 competitors, a 62% increase over the 2019 field of 21. Also, in 2020, 346 new members joined the WMGA. That's 60% more than the 2019 gain of 217 new members. While we did raise the handicap restriction to 25.0, only 25% of the new members had a handicap higher than the old cap of 23. And for those who follow some stats, new members came 23% from Long Island, 32 from Westchester, and 43 from New Jersey. I do want to take a moment to thank all the Met reps for your support and assistance in spreading the word about the MGA. Your efforts are truly making a difference, and we are cautiously optimistic that we will continue to see a strong membership in 2021, especially with the increased play in this past golf season. And yet there was a silver lining to this pandemic. We are all now much more tech savvy than ever before, and today's meeting is proof of that. The pandemic made us think outside the box as we introduced our swing series. What started as a way to fill the void at the beginning of the pandemic maintained contact with our membership, beginning with a question and answer session with Patty Sheehan. The series has now become a familiar feature, with experts discussing golf-related topics such as golf drills, fitness, mindset coaching, equipment fitting, and our recent night session on pain management with KT tape and CBD discussions. We created a membership exchange on Facebook that could facilitate communication among our membership, but it has had limited success. We created a short 1-minute tournament highlight videos, some of which you saw earlier, so that all members can watch any recaps of the events. We implemented a volunteer sign-up portal so that members who wanted to volunteer could see which tournaments, roles, and time slots were needed and electronically sign up. We then brought out our inner Ken Burns and developed a volunteer tutorial video to help our volunteers understand the various roles and responsibilities of being either a marker or a spotter or a pace of play monitor. And with all of these video and Zoom recordings, we now created a WMGA communications channel on YouTube, and we have playlists for our swing series, tournament highlights, and tutorial videos. And as you can see here, some of our swing series have been viewed over 375 times, a phenomenal number. So what's in store for 2021? The same focus of doing more with our current membership, as well as enticing new members to join, whether within our member clubs or independents. This year, the WMGA board agreed to offer free WMGA memberships to the WMGA Foundation scholarship recipients, keeping in line with our mission of fostering women and junior golf. For young women, 4 young women took us up on this offer. As stated last year, based on your feedback, the board approved the elimination of the team captain's responsibility to collect $75 from the teammates for tipping. While this amount seems low, it is cumbersome for the captains to collect. So for the 2021 season, the MGA will be covering all tipping for the 162 teams participating in the team matches. This adds up to slightly over $20,000. As we did with several tournaments this year, we extended unfulfilled slots with member competitions, and we are considering member guest opportunities. We will continue with our swing series even in the off season. Our Met reps are the spokesperson for our organization at the club level. We greatly appreciate you volunteering your time and efforts on our behalf, whether it involves coordinating team matches and tournaments, recruiting new members, or supporting our foundation. You are the lifeblood at the WMGA, and we cannot exist without you. We will continue to foster and strengthen that relationship through various activities, including Inside the Ropes, that periodically provides news and information pertinent to the Met Rep community. And during the off season, we will be conducting another set of roundtable panel discussions on how we continue to improve the WMGA for its membership. Ina will be chairing a committee to analyze a better approach for our junior program, and Donna will be working on looking at improvements for our volunteer program. While put on hold for 2020, we will be creating marketing plan for the 2021 independent membership push, starting with updating our flyers that utilize our new communications modern look and feel. So what do we have planning right now for 2021? While it may be the off season, we still want the WMGA to be on everyone's radar through communications via Tea Talk and On the Tee, as well as hosting several events during the cold winter months. We are looking at another Topgolf event in New Jersey and with similar venues in the other two districts. Plans for the swing series continues with a fashion emphasis, and we have other topics on the draw board as well. We are looking into a live putting competition via Zoom, and we have also rescheduled a spring clinic at Rye Golf on April 22nd. And to note, that is just before team matches, and we will have several of the swing series experts that have been on in attendance at that clinic. While tabled for 2020, Donna is again looking to replicate the great success of the Blue and White Cup. We did hold our second annual event and the white team won yet again, but we are trying to look to do a similar event in New Jersey with a New Jersey venue. Now that we mastered the video medium, we will look at other tutorials that we can create to help you navigate like our website or Golf Genius. So if you have any ideas, just please let us know. And lastly, our sites committee chaired by Kate Platt and the district captains, Cheryl Brayman for Long Island, Mary Jo Gray for New Jersey, and Lindsay Oatsman for Westchester, Connecticut. They are hard at work securing the venues for 2021. Some of the clubs that couldn't host us this year are trying to confirm for 2021. Clubs are a bit slower in making their commitments based on the unknowns of the pandemic, and a few clubs that will continue to not host outside events within 2021. So please be patient, but check our website for updates to our tournament schedule, which should be posted at the start of the new year. We want to thank the Met reps in advance for their assistance in securing these events with our sites committee. You will see a difference in 2021 schedule based on some feedback that we got from the roundtable panel that was held early this year. Based on the issues and difficulties we heard in traveling to tournaments, especially when dealing with crossing bridges. So we're making a change. As you can see in this slide here, there are 6 premier events or championships that will rotate and continue to rotate across the 3 districts. But then as the popularity grew over the years, other tournament formats that were happening in each district, like one-day stroke play. And with the growing interest in partner and team events, we noticed that every district held one of each of formatted event over, let me start that one over again. And with the growing interest in partner and team events, we noticed that every district held one each of most of the tournament formats, except for family day and husband-wife. So we proposed that for 2021 is to book similar tournament formats in each district, ensuring that each district has a format to minimize the requirement for travel over a bridge. One-day stroke play and a best ball will continue to have one in each district. The Pinehurst alternate shot format is in 2 districts, and we do partner with the MGA for a mixed Pinehurst that hopefully will be in the 3rd district, although they are the ones that schedule that event. So the biggest change is that the family day, which consists of the father-daughter, mother-daughter, sister-sister, and sister-brother, will now be held in each district in conjunction with the husband-wife. So a member can theoretically play one day with their father, their sister on another day, and their husband on the 3rd. This gives them more flexibilities and options to our members. The WMGA will know which specific event is the trophy tournament for those who have their eye on the big prize. Please note that the mother-son is a premier event, and that will remain on its own day, rotating across the 3 districts. It's due to its popularity and its sellout attendance. In addition, as stated earlier, we're working on having a special event like the Blue and White in each of the 3 districts. We want to try this approach as clubs are very gracious to give us the venue and we need to maximize the attendance we requested. This is the year like no other. We had many unknowns and there was no blueprint to follow. I want to sincerely thank the WMGA Board of Directors and the staff for all their tireless efforts this past year. And just as important, a big thank you to the Met reps dedicated to working with us, and of course, the WMGA members for your patience, support, and participation with this great organization this year. I sincerely thank you all. I now like to turn over the virtual podium to Valerie DePiro, Chair of the WMGA Foundation, to give her report on the foundation activities.
Thank you, Lorianne. On behalf of the Foundation Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank those of you who supported the WMGA Foundation in 2020. When we reported to you over a year ago, we could not have imagined the challenges that 2020 would bring. Despite the pandemic and the lockdown requirements, the WMGA Foundation remained focused on its main mission to help deserving young women with limited resources achieve their academic goals. During 2020, our Scholarship Selection Committee, co-chaired by Pam Charles and Sarah Cohen, committed nearly $79,000 to 13 young women. This amount was consistent with the prior 2 years. For the first time, we had the younger sisters of 2 past scholarship recipients apply for and receive scholarships. This familial legacy demonstrates the importance of our scholarships to our recipients and their families. The diversity amongst our applicant pool and each applicant's individual accomplishments amazes us every year. To a certain extent, their similarities start and stop with their love of golf and the lessons it teaches. They're all unique individuals with different backgrounds, family circumstances, and academic interests. They're interested in majors ranging from business and economics to international studies, nursing, cognitive science, I had to look that one up, and vocal jazz. For the overwhelming majority of our applicants, private tutors and access to outside resources has been well beyond their reach. They are disciplined and determined to succeed. Maybe they learned this kind of mental toughness on the golf course, or perhaps they were drawn to golf because it requires this kind of strength. Either way, they are extraordinary and deserve all the help we can give them. This year's class is attending various universities: Harvard College, Georgetown University, Emory University, the University of St. Andrews, and amongst others. When we asked what does it mean to receive a scholarship from the WMGA Foundation, one scholarship recipient replied, "It means a lot to me. There are so many deserving girls out there who play this game, this male-dominated sport. But I feel very proud to have received this scholarship." We highlighted our sisters and a few other 2020 recipients in our annual newsletter emailed 2 weeks ago. If you didn't get a chance to read the newsletter and can't find the email, you can find the newsletter on the foundation section of the WMGA website. 2020 didn't go as planned for our Girls to the Tee clinics. In consultation with our host clubs, we chose not to hold the clinics this year. You can't imagine how hard this decision was for us. Our clinics are our favorite days of the year. Watching 25, 50, or over 100 girls learning the game together is really inspiring. Most of the girls never held a club before coming to the clinic. We look forward to getting back on the practice tees and putting greens with the girls in 2021 and to share the day with our host clubs and our local PGA professionals who donate their time and their facilities for this worthwhile cause. Once again, our non-event was the main fundraiser for 2020, raising over $22,000. To a certain extent, we are trailblazers, as 2020 forced organizations to cancel or propose fundraising events or to hold virtual events. If you didn't get a chance to not join us at our golf-inspired barbecue, don't worry, there's still time to, quote, participate in 2020. We want to thank our sister golf associations and our ladies groups at our member clubs who continue to swing for scholarships. Our team match dollar point challenge was canceled this year, but our members still supported the foundations through their direct donations or by donating excess funds in their tournament budget. This year, for the first time, a separate scholarship fund was established by Fresh Meadow members who sponsored a scholarship in the name of the mother of one of their club professionals, who she passed away from breast cancer, I think a year and a half ago. The Fresh Meadow women raised over $10,000 for the Catherine Angola Scholarship Fund. The scholarship, which was the brainchild of Dale Kramer, was granted to Remy Shendell, who was attending Emory University. In Remy's scholarship application, she describes being raised by a single mom who suffered physical injuries and was laid off from her job. Remy said that with regard to college tuition, she just wanted to be able to take some financial pressure off her mom and tell her that I got this one, Mom. We thank Dale Kramer and the Fresh Meadow women for honoring Catherine and Gilna and positively impacting a young woman's life. By the way, if you know of anyone who would like to establish a separate scholarship fund in memory or in honor of someone, please contact me after this call. It could be a wonderful, lasting legacy. Our board volunteered at the AJGA UHY Celadon Junior Championship hosted by Marina Alex this year. You may have seen Diane Mock's picture on Instagram or Facebook with Eunice Kim, a WMGA junior member. This year's event was played at Watchung Valley, New Jersey, and Yona Kim, a WMGA junior member and a 2020 scholarship recipient, won the girls division for the second year in a row. The WMGA Foundation was incorporated in 2001, so 2021 is our 20th anniversary year. We look forward to celebrating this with you, our fellow members and benefactors. In closing, I'd like to thank the WMGA board for their support. I also want to thank Sarah Relier and the WMGA staff. And of course, I want to thank the foundation board and committee members for their time and efforts. In addition to Pam, Dale, and Diane, who I mentioned previously, I want to thank Lori Ann, Judy Catone, Sky Gregory, and Kate Platt. Finally, I have to send a special thank you to Heidi Camarillo. I met Heidi when we served on the WMGA board together. She has always provided important insight and guidance. While Heidi will be leaving the foundation board, she will be staying connected by remaining on the scholarship selection committee. We look forward to keeping in touch. Volunteers are always welcomed on our committees and at our Girls to the T clinics. So shoot us an email, give us a call if you're interested. Please get involved. As you know, 100% of your donations go to our programs. The more funds raised equals more support for young women pursuing their dreams. So remember to select us on Amazon Smile, swing for scholarships, and please remember us in your annual giving. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of young women and girls by giving back to a game we love and that has given us all so much. Respectfully submitted, Valerie DePiero, Chair, on behalf of the Board of Trustees. And now I'd like to turn the podium, or the virtual podium, over to Sky Gregory, our treasurer, to give her financial report on the WMGA and the WMGA Foundation.
Thank you, Valerie. Good evening, everyone. The WMGA and the WMGA Foundation, which I will refer to as the Association and Foundation tonight, are separate corporations with interrelated directors, officers, and common facilities. Therefore, the annual report you received today provides their combined financial statements for the fiscal period October 1st, 2019 through September 30th, 2020. The association is recognized as a social club under the Revenue Code 501(c)(7, and the foundation is organized as a 501(c)(3) charity. As such, both entities are exempt from federal income tax. However, only the foundation can receive donations that are tax deductible to the donor. We continue to engage the accounting firm of Condon O'Mara to perform our annual audits and prepare our tax returns. Their auditor reports of the association, the foundation, and the combined financial statements, which are presented on a modified cash basis, found our financial records and statements to be fairly and appropriately presented, excuse me. As treasurer, this report is respectfully submitted, and I would like to now return the virtual podium to Lori Ann. Thank you.
Thank you, Sky. May I have a motion to adopt the annual report that was emailed out earlier this evening to our membership?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
If you are in favor, please select yes on the Zoom poll panel that has popped up on your screen. If for those who are opposed, select no, and those that wish to abstain, select abstain, and then hit submit. We will wait a second for the tallies to come. We monitored the results and the numbers indicate that the annual report has been adopted. I'd now like to bring Cheryl Brayman up to the virtual podium as the chairperson of the 2020 nominating committee to give the nominating committee report.
In accordance with bylaw 4, section 2 of the Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, the nominating committee presents the following nominations to be voted upon at the annual meeting. Okay, start again. In accordance with bylaw 4, section 2 of the Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, the nominating committee presents the following nominations to be voted upon at the annual meeting. Officers, President Lori Ann Cerullo, Rye, VP of Competitions Mary Jo Gray, Mendham, Secretary Michelle Lamoille Gray, Bellport. Directors from Long Island, Shannon Boyle, The Creek, Ina Kim Shad, Deepdale. New Jersey, Kathy Flicker, Cherry Valley, New Jersey, Katie Renoff, Trump, Bedminster. Westchester, Connecticut, Laura Coash, Westchester. Each term of office will expire in November 2022. The secretary position is a one-year term as per bylaw change approved November 6, 2019. Respectfully submitted, nominating committee, Cheryl Brayman, Chair, North Shore, Long Island, Diane Galtieri, Huntington, Long Island, Sarah Tasnadi, North Hempstead, Long Island, Barbara Kohut, North Jersey, New Jersey, Maggie Pizzone, White Beaches, New Jersey, Barbara Payanessa, Westchester Hills, Westchester, Connecticut, Lynn Thompson, Powelton, Westchester, Connecticut. Michelle Lamoille Gray, Secretary, Women's Metropolitan Golf Association, October 13th, 2020.
Michelle, were there any other nominations received? Sarah, did you get? Okay.
Our secretary has indicated in her chat that no other nominations were received.
Thank you. May I have a motion for the nominating committee report to be accepted as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
If you are in favor, please select yes in the Zoom poll panel that has popped up on your screen. For those that are opposed, please select no. And those that wish to abstain, select abstain, and then hit submit. Wait a few seconds to get the results. We're monitoring the responses, and the numbers indicate that the nominating committee report is accepted as presented. Thank you, Cheryl and the nominating committee. I deeply appreciate your vote of confidence to continue as the president for a second term. I am both honored and humbled. Thank you. Let me be the first to welcome and introduce the 2021 WMGA Board of Directors, especially our newest member, Katie Renoff, who will be our team competitions chair. But again, big thanks to our outgoing board member, Heidi Comaria. Are there any questions from the floor or new business? Please indicate any questions in your chat function. Sarah, are there any questions in the chat?
No questions in the chat.
Hearing no objections, I declare the meeting adjourned by acclamation. The business portion of the meeting is now closed. We will now continue with the recognition and award ceremony, followed by our keynote speaker, Dottie Pepper. I would like to now give the floor to Donna DeMarco, our VP of Marketing and Communications, to take us through some important recognition. Donna?
Thank you, Lorianne. I have the honor of recognizing several women that have truly made a difference to the WMGA. While there are many wonderful and dedicated women that tirelessly support us, these particular individuals have gone above and beyond. To begin, I would like to take a few moments to remember two women, Ellie Lazar and Rosemary Mankiewicz. Eleanor Lazar, Ellie, passed away in mid-September at the age of 99. She and her husband, Ali, were married for 76 years and devoted much of their lives to supporting and growing the game of golf. Ali passed away last December at 98. Ellie was introduced to the game in 1935, and she and Ali were lifelong members of Metropolis. As an avid and talented golfer, Ellie was two-time club champion in Metropolis, first in 1965 and then later in 1984. And she was also the first woman to serve on its board. Ellie joined the WMGA in the late 1960s, served as tournament chair, and then was president of our association in 1977. She also served as president of the Women's Tri-County Golf Association. While her work with the WMGA was most appreciated, she and Ali had their greatest impact on the Westchester Golf Association Caddy Scholarship Fund, and she was one of their devoted board members. In 2000, the Lazars were honored with the MGA's highest honor, the Distinguished Service Award, in recognition of their many contributions to the game of golf. Nancy Patton, a past WMGA president, offers this remembrance. Ellie and Ali were quite a pair. Ellie, who was always willing to help out in any way she could, whether setting up a course, being a rules official, or simply stuffing envelopes. She was very generous with her time, efforts, and resources in as many golf-related ways as possible. With Ellie's passing, we lost a true role model when it comes to being a volunteer. Rosemary Mankiewicz passed away last month at the age of 90. Born in 1929 in London, England, she grew up in the shadow of World War II. After attending the Central School of Drama, she traveled to Italy. And while working as an Italian dialect coach for the film, The Barefoot Contessa, she met the director Joseph Mankiewicz, who would later become her husband. In the 1970s, they settled in Bedford and became members of the Bedford Golf and Tennis Club. Golf was Rosemary's passion, along with gardening, and she became the first woman elected to the club's board of directors. Rosemary joined the WMGA and took on several roles prior to becoming president of the association in 1989. She was instrumental in establishing the French American Challenge, in which the WMGA, together with the MGA, matches teams from the two countries. Then in 1993, Rosemary was invited to join the USGA Regional Affairs Committee, and she became its New York representative. In 2004, the WMGA honored her contributions and accomplishments with the Judy Bell Award. Quite a few of the WMGA's past presidents have wonderful memories of Rosemary. Ann Probert shares, Rosemary experienced amazing times growing up in England during World War II, and she had many stories of how she escaped danger, met Joe, and then came to America. I will miss her warmth, her friendship, lively spirit, and enviable British accent. Well, Amy Hyman remembers meeting Rosemary during a course rating at Sunningdale, which is Amy's club. She was so impressed with her graciousness and professionalism. Nancy Patton asks, what was there not to love about Rosemary? With her English accent, dry wit, and interesting stories of her past that she always had on hand, you would be well entertained. Finally, Bridget Lamb best sums it up. Rosemary, she was a true treasure. Volunteering is the basic core of the WMGA, initiated by our 5 founders and certainly epitomized by the 2 women, Ellie and Rosemary, who we just remembered. Whether you serve as a board member, a committee participant, a tournament volunteer, or a course rater, the WMGA would not be the organization it is today without you, our volunteers. You are critical to this organization, and this year, the board decided to aptly recognize individuals in each of the 3 districts who have gone out of their way to provide assistance throughout the season, especially during this most unusual year. We are proud of our first set of recipients of the 2020 Volunteer of the Year recognition. So to begin, representing New Jersey is Christine Briggs, the Met rep from Ramsey Golf and Country Club. The WMGA asks a lot from our Met reps, from membership recruiting and renewals, scheduling team matches, to securing tournament events. Christine does that and goes the few steps beyond. Always upbeat and helpful, Christine's passion for golf shines through. She works diligently to recruit players for team matches, and then she encourages them to register for tournaments. She is supportive of the WMGA by attending all of our meetings, all of our special events, not to mention that she plays in as many of our tournaments as she possibly can. She even volunteered to assist us with registration at this year's Husband and Wife B tournament at Burning Tree. We are delighted to acknowledge her efforts to the WMGA as one of the 2020 Volunteers of the Year. Christine has prepared a few words of thanks.
Thank you. I'm deeply humbled and honored. For me, I volunteer because of the love of the game. Also, I have forged many special friendships on the golf course, at my home course, Ramsey Golf and Country Club, as well as the golf courses that I've played throughout the years with the WMGA. I have great pride in being part of the WMGA and even greater admiration for those who lead it and those who participate in it. Golf and the WMGA have provided a reprieve during this pandemic. I've enjoyed the game for its camaraderie, mental stimulation, friendly competition, and the ability to enjoy a great walk in some of the prettiest settings imaginable. It also allows me to connect with new and old friends. Thank you. I look forward to seeing everyone in the spring.
Well, I certainly think that that sums up how we all feel about the WMGA. All right, let's move on to Westchester, Connecticut. Lynn Gear represents Westchester and Connecticut, and she has been a team captain for Rye Golf for many years. Recently retired, I'm jealous of that, she really dedicated herself to the WMGA this year. While she competed in 13 tournaments, she also volunteered at 3 events: the Junior Open, Husband Wife B, and the Myra D. Patterson Invitational. In addition, Lynn participated in the roundtable panel just held this past February. Always thoughtful and knowledgeable, Lynn has consistently made herself available in support of the WMGA, and for all of her efforts, we would like to acknowledge her as one of the 2020 Volunteers of the Year. Here is Lynn acknowledging her award.
Hi, this is Lynn Gear from Westchester County. Wanted to thank the WMGA for the Volunteer Award for Westchester, and also to thank the WMGA for the opportunity to help out a bit, and also to play at as many venues as they provided this year to just help make 2020 a bit more normal and fun and enjoyable than it otherwise would have been. So thank you again, and have a great holiday season.
Thanks, Lynn. The Blue and White Cup would not be as successful as it is without the support of its host club, the Vineyards, out in Riverhead. For the last 2 years, this tournament has been oversubscribed, and with very good reason. Besides the camaraderie and the format of this friendly competition, the Vineyards rolls out the carpet for the WMGA and embraces our members. The Vineyards joined the WMGA just last year, and the club quickly proved that it could handle any challenge, including hosting this year's Blue and White while adhering to COVID-19 restrictions. The heart of this club is not one member, but all of its members. Whether it is the time they spent preparing goodie bags for the Blue and White participants or negotiating for the WMGA behind the scenes, all the ladies of the Vineyards, Barbara, Christina, Janice, Meg, Nina, Patricia, Susan, and Tanya, are deserving of the 2020 Volunteers of the Year recognition. Their Met Rep, Barbara Redescheid, says, "This is a great honor for the Vineyards, and we thank the WMGA." This year's recipients will receive a WMGA backpack filled with assorted goodies and an award certificate. During 2021, you'll be hearing more about our volunteer program as we assess and modify it with the help of our roundtable panel, Met Reps, and board members. And for our final recognition of the evening, oh, Heidi, Heidi, Heidi. How do we love thee? Let us count the ways. Extraordinary seems to be the word we hear most often when we speak about Heidi. Should we throw in passionate? Why not? Who else can wax poetic about course rating other than Heidi Comaria? Heidi became the Met Rep for her club, Trump Westchester, and blossomed from there. Blossomed is an apt verb because Heidi is also a master gardener. While Heidi has many talents and has worn a variety of hats for the WMGA, everyone knows Heidi is the course rating queen. Past WMGA President Nancy Patton says it best: the WMGA, MGA, and metropolitan area golf courses are much indebted to the dedicated hard work Heidi has devoted on behalf of all women golfers. Longtime WMGA member Carol Goldman, who has worked with Heidi on course rating, notes, Heidi's generosity and giving of her time has had a tremendous impact on the various course rating teams in the WMGA. This is also echoed by another WMGA member, Joan Mannion, who also served as course rater with Heidi. I can't say enough about Heidi, not only as a person, but most especially as a fabulous leader and a brilliant rater. Another past president, Amy Hyman, remembers signing up for a tournament with a partner, and she was paired with Heidi for the very first time. They had a fabulous day together, and little did Amy know that years later, Heidi, as head of the nominating committee, co-maria'd her into joining the WMGA board, which of course Amy did. Full circle, then Heidi was on the board when Amy served as president. WMGA member and course rater Pinky Markey cannot say enough about Heidi. Heidi leads with kind intuition, thoughtful guidance in every aspect of engagement with fellow course raters, as well as serving as a role model for young girls interested in golf. She shares her knowledge freely and brings WMGA volunteers from all districts who might not have ever met one another together. Heidi finds joy in teaching her raters to see the big picture on a golf course and then to examine its unique features or failures to determine a fair rating. It has been a wonderful ride to be a WMGA course rater with Heidi at the helm. Finally, past WMGA President Cheryl Brayman has known Heidi through course rating for a long time, and she agrees that Heidi's expertise in course rating is beyond compare. But what stands out most in Cheryl's mind is one board meeting. And during that board meeting, Heidi remarked that she was very excited about being a mentor to one of her juniors. Heidi has been a mentor many, many times. She told Cheryl, "I tell my mentees, I cannot help you with your golf game, but I can help you with your homework." Cheryl will never forget those words. And speaking of mentees, Rebecca Chan, who is currently an engineering student at the Harvey Mudd College in California, has a few words for Heidi, her mentor.
Hi, Heidi. Thank you so much for being my mentor. I'm so grateful for your leadership, kindness, and support. I hope you have a good time in Pinehurst.
We will certainly miss Heidi's outstanding leadership and her guidance in the course rating process. And we all wish Heidi and Paul the best as they begin their next chapter in Pinehurst. I would now like to bring to the virtual podium Mary Jo Gray, our VP of Competitions, to take us through our award winners.
Thank you, Donna. As you stated earlier, due to the pandemic, the WMGA hosted 21 out of the 29 originally scheduled tournaments. Given these unique conditions, we were unable to hold the team matches, and the WMGA has opted not to present Player of the Year and B Player of the Year awards, but we do have several other 2020 award winners to recognize. The only hole-in-one this year happened at the end of the season at the second annual Blue and White Cup. Christine Iovino from Cherry Valley, Long Island, watched her ball disappear into the cup on the third hole, a 125-yard par 3 at the Vineyards on the second day of competition. This was Christine's first hole-in-one, and we congratulate her on her milestone achievement. Christine has a few words to share with us.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the WMGA for honoring my first ever hole-in-one. It was extra special that it took place during the 2020 Blue and White Cup and with so many fellow golfers. After playing only a few holes on Monday and being down 2, it took place on the 3rd hole. I hit an 8-iron about 125 yards after switching from a 9-iron at the last minute. A special shout out to my foursome, Suzanne Longglade, Sally McLaughlin, and Michelle Lamole Gray, who were as excited as I was as we watched the ball fall into the cup. We all had some trouble focusing for the next few holes. I'll think back on the day with such fond memories and loved hearing about others' hole-in-ones and their near misses. Thanks again for such a special day, and go blue in 2021.
The 91st Myra D. Patterson Invitational was inspired by the popularity of its sister competition, the Golf Illustrated. The trophy was donated by former WMGA president Myra D. Patterson and was named after her in recognizing the many major contributions she made to this association. The three-way single match play Nassau format of a 10-member Class B team is a favorite. The captains, Angela Corey Mattis of Long Island, Betsy Clark of New Jersey, and Lynn Thompson of Westchester, Connecticut, selected their teams and then waited anxiously for the competition, rescheduled from May to September at Brookville Country Club. While Westchester, Connecticut held the title for the last 5 years, the 2020 winner was the Long Island team with 26 points to New Jersey's 24 and Westchester, Connecticut's 21. Congratulations to the Long Island team. The 95th Golf Illustrated is the WMGA's second oldest invitational team event that began in 1919. It was to be a one-time event between the 3 districts, but then in 1921, Golf Illustrated donated a trophy for the winning team, which then gave this competition its name. The sterling silver basket, made in 1809 in Sheffield, England, by the celebrated silversmith of the period, Thomas Bradbury of Thomas Langdon and Company, is one of our favorites. Originally a 15-member Class A team, it was reduced to a 10-member team in 1925, and it has remained as a 10-member team for each district. This year's 3 district captains, Shannon Boyle of Long Island, Sue Sardi of New Jersey, and rookie Alexis Hyos of Westchester, Connecticut, were thrilled that Trump Bedminster graciously rescheduled the invitational to October from its original May date. Long Island was the reigning champ, but Westchester, Connecticut prevailed, winning 26 to Long Island's 24 and New Jersey's 23. Congratulations to the Westchester, Connecticut team. The Board of Directors Cup honors, the Board of Directors Cup honor is given every year to the player with the lowest gross score in a Class B tournament. This year's winner is Teresa Piscacreta. I knew I was going to mess this up. Piscacreta from Lake Isle Country Club. Terry shot an 88 at the one-day stroke play on her home course, Lake Isle, on June 22nd. As the 2018 Player of the Year, Terry is no stranger to competitive golf and would like to share a few words with us in accepting this award.
Wow, this was a surprise to me. When Martin called and told me that I won this award, he asked me if I would say a few things about the tournament. It was the second tournament of the season, I believe, and at Lake Isle. And I was thinking back to the first time that I played a tournament at Lake Isle for the WMGA, and I was doing pretty well until I came to the 17th hole, which is a long par 5, and I promptly hit my tee shot into the woods. So that took me out of the running. So this year I was determined not to make that same mistake. So this year I approached the 17th green and I promptly hit my shot into the pond. So I was stunned, but I somehow recovered and I posted a pretty good score. I was playing with a group, a foursome of pretty good competitive players, and I figured that if I kept up with them, I would do pretty well. And I did keep up with them, and I put in a good score. And a couple of hours later, we found out that I won. And one of my playing partners turned to me and said, Terry, if I knew you were playing so well, I would have played closer attention. So I think it was a stealthy win. I want to thank the WMGA board and their staff for putting together a wonderful season of golf. These are trying times, and it was a difficult job to do. You found some magnificent courses. We played on some magnificent courses, and the tournaments were run very professionally. From the COVID directions that you gave us, to the goodie bags with sanitizers, to the box lunches, and which were delicious, and also on my part to allow an old lady like me to get a single cart in each of the tournaments. I really appreciated that. So again, I want to thank everyone for this award, and I hope everyone stays well during these times, and hope to see you next year again. Thank you again so much. It means so much to me.
Terry Pizzicrita. The land trophy goes to the player with the lowest gross score in a Class A tournament. This year's honoree is Jenna Hahn, a junior golfer who shot an amazing 68 at the Maureen Orcott at White Beaches Golf and Country Club on August 11th. At 17, she is one of the youngest recipients of this trophy, and we are delighted to acknowledge this significant accomplishment. Jenna is thrilled to have shot her personal best and has prepared an acceptance video for us.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Jenna Hahn, and I'm currently a senior attending Mawa High School. This past August, I won the 61st Maureen Orcutt Trophy Tournament at White Beaches Golf and Country Club. I shot my career best 68 and 71 to finish at 5 under par. I'm truly grateful to have participated in such a prestigious event, even during difficult times. I would like to personally thank the WMGA, the tournament staff, the White Beaches Golf Course, and anyone else who had made the tournament possible and for leaving me with incredible memories I'll always remember. The course was absolutely gorgeous, and all the tournament staff were super generous with providing us with tasty lunches and lots of water. This event has actually helped me spark my college golf career next year at the United States Naval Academy. I'm excited for what lies ahead and thankful for all the opportunities the WMGA has provided for me as a junior golfer. Once again, it is amazing to be sharing history with some of the greatest golfers in our area. I sincerely appreciate everyone for organizing this tournament for the junior golfers. I had a great time competing and made some memories I will forever cherish. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good luck, Jenna, at the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis. Congratulations and well done, ladies. Now I will return the podium to Lori Ann.
Thank you, Mary Jo, and congratulations to everyone. To Christine, Lynn, and the Vineyards for the Volunteer of the Year Awards, and to Christine, I echo Go Blue, and Teresa and Jenna, along with the Long Island Myra D. Patterson and Westchester, Connecticut Golf Illustrated teams. While things are very different this year, we are very excited to be acknowledging all these achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker, Dottie Pepper, will be joining us at 7:30. So at this point, we will break for a short intermission. Please do not end your meeting. We will bring back the video highlights for the 2020 tournament and we'll be back promptly at 7:30 with Dottie Pepper.